Hey, what's up, guys? It's Anthony in Breakout Daily. Thank you for tuning in. This is video 3 and the last video from the comic haul, going through some of the books that I recently picked up on the 2-day event, MiniCon. That was here local, and I had an incredible time. Picked up a bunch of books. Some are keys, some are not. Some are just going into my collection, some are not. Some were dollar books, some were not. And yeah, we're gonna wrap up the video finally. I also get to put the stuff away. So one of the main catalysts for doing these videos was I kept looking at them and kept moving them around. I was like, okay, stop screwing around here. Stop playing with these books. Do some videos. Share it with the community here, and then let's just keep going. Let's keep going. So this is the third video. I appreciate you guys that have watched all of the videos in this segment. And of course, you can continue watching us if you guys hit the subscribe button down below. If you hit the bell, you'll get notified every time we drop a new video. And don't forget, check us out on Instagram at break.outdaily, and also on TikTok at Breakout Daily. Let's dive into some books, shall we? This is the last haul. This is the last stack of books that I got from this MiniCon that happened. And I can't say enough about how much fun I had, how great the people were, all the wheeling and dealing I did and didn't do. I missed out on a couple of things that I regretted Monday morning, believe me. All right. You ready for this? Let's do it. This is actually, well, a couple of books here. So I do have a Xmen collection. I think I've mentioned it several times at this point. Series 1 and Series 2. I do have some of the other offshoots of Xmen, not a lot of them. Predominantly, it's, again, Series 1 and Series 2 Xmen. That's what I'm trying to stick with. I recently picked up a Series 2 Xmen 4 newsstand edition, CGC 9.6. Happy to get it. And since getting that, I was like, shit, I need to get some of these other books. And I got the opportunity to get some raw copies that were in really good shape. And so I bought them. Here's one of them. That's Xmen number 7. Beautiful book. I got this, I think it was like $3. Something like that. $3. Can't beat it. This next one, I think that actually, let me put this next one aside, because this was a part of another deal I worked. And I was stoked to get this because the art on it is beautiful. All right, so Xmen number 3. This was, I think, $2. Something like that. Let's see if I can get the camera to show you. The reason I got Xmen number 3 is because I have started to build out the Series 2, and I'm not going to run the whole series. I just wanted to run a couple of them because they were a great price. And I was happy to add it to my collection to include the next one, Xmen number 2. And these are all they're all in presentable condition. They're not shit condition. They're not torn or ripped apart or anything. They're in pretty good condition. This next part is pretty funny. These are the first books that I bought at the Comic-Con. I was at this guy's booth. Really friendly guy. Had a hell of a collection. A lot of really nice old books. And I was looking, and he's trying to sell me all this other stuff. And I was like, you know what? I've got the Magneto cover. I've got this cover right here. So here's one of the books. Xmen Series 1. I've got this Magneto cover in a 9.8 CGC. And it was like $5. And it was like, okay. But it was the only one that I had. Now I've got a raw copy, obviously. And then I went to the next book, and of course, it is the next cover, right? I'm like, okay, so there's the other variant. Okay, cool. $5. Okay. Not bad. I mean, the books are in, again, pretty good condition. And then again, I go to the next book, and I'm like, damn, there it is again. Another variant of Xmen Series 2, number 1. And then again. And so I just bought all of them because it was like, you know what? If I'm building this collection, let me do it right. Let me get at least copies of them. Are they Graded copies? No, but not yet anyways. And I don't know which ones. Some of those I won't grade. But anyways, I thought it was really cool because of me building my collection out on how that kind of falls in suit with it and works well. So this was $1 book. Yeah, this was $1 book. And it was just Amazing Spider-Man number 5, newer generation. This next book, I just stumbled on it. I love it. It's in great condition. It's one of these quirky books that I'm proud to own. In fact, I got to look this thing up. I haven't even looked it up. And that is Flashback Uncanny X-Men number 1. And it's got, of course, Stan Lee in the cover. But, like, look at this thing. So hopefully you can see Stan Lee there. Anyways, just the comic alone, I'm like $1. Like, this is such a great cover. You got Sentinels going with the birth of the Sentinels. The Trask family tragedy. You got Stan Lee on the cover with a mallet over his shoulder. I don't know. I just like that for whatever reason. And some of these comics, that's the reason I buy them. I like the cover or I like the story behind it, and then it goes into my collection. This has got some funk on this one, and I noticed it the other day. Like I said, I was screwing around with my books, and I got to figure it out. This is, I don't know if the comic's going to be big, but we know that there is some stuff coming for War Machine. It's War Machine number 1. And like I said, there's like some funk going on his head. You probably can't see it, but anyways, other than that, it's in really good condition, $1. So, all right, let's see what I got behind door number 1. So we got 3 comics left. This next comic, if you watched video 2, if you didn't, go back and watch it because I was talking about Young Avengers right here that I picked up. See if you guys can see that. And as a part of this deal with a bunch of other comics, I already explained it, I also got this next book, which is Invincible number 19. And this thing's climbing. I mean, like, raw copies, I believe, and I could be wrong, raw copies, is according to cover price, have peaked up to almost $100 a book. But keep in mind, Invincible, this is Invincible 19. See, I know it's hard because it's difficult to see this one because of the white on it. Anyways, limited print editions on these. That's why it's so awesome to hit some keys. And I got several. I'll do a video here relatively soon or whenever I get to it, just going over my Invincible collection. I don't have number 1 and I don't 2, 3, or 4, but I do have some pretty cool keys. So now we're down to the last 2 books. So this is kind of a funny story, and no, I'm not missing a book. So I had some cash with me the first and second day because I didn't know, like, how many people do cash, how many do credit card, PayPal, whatever. And it varies from person to person, come to find out. So I'm at this guy's stand, and I walked by this, talked to this guy about it, walked off. Went and bought some other stuff. Came back and talked to him again. And I was talking to him about this comic right here. And I'll show you this in a second. And I'm like, man, God, I want that book. I really want that book. And then I start looking through his other books, and I see he has this book, which is in just an incredible Jim Lee cover. Again, I've got part 4, CGC 9.6, but like, I love this cover. I love the artwork, right? So number 4, X-Men, is when Omega Red made his appearance, and then obviously it continues into number 5, but the cover on this is just so epic and so well done. Anyways, he's got $10 marked on it. I start finagling him, and I'm like, okay, hey, excuse me, what kind of deal can we work with that comic? And I'll show you here in a second. In this book right here. So this is X-Men 94. Now this is, it's got some spine ticks on it. Other than the spine ticks, and it has some yellowing pages, it's got some wear on it. Is it a pile of shit? No, I don't think so. I think the coloring on it is still good. I think the text is still good. Just some wear there. Just some wear. A nice press will clean some of it, but other than that, it's I don't know what grade. I'm not even going to fucking guess. Anyways, I see this thing, and I've been following this comic for quite a while now. And I'm like, oh my God, they've got one. And it says $400 on it. And I'm like, that's worth, at the time, I'm like, that's worth $400 just as is. So I talked to the guy, walked away, talked to the guy again. It's like, hey, can you want to do a deal here? And I'm really interested in this book. And he says, yeah, I mean, I can come down a little bit. How about $375? And I'm like, okay, well, what kind of deal can we work for this Xmen #5 plus this comic? And we went back and forth, and I was like, all right, well, let me see how much cash I have on me. And I think this was the third time I talked to him. No, maybe it was the second time. So I count my cash, and I'm like, fuck. I was going to go buy, if you guys didn't catch one of my videos here, I wanted to go buy 2 of the Otto from the 3 Men in the Basement's mystery boxes, which are $100 each, $200. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm looking at my cash, and I'm like, let's do a shot in the dark. Let's just try this thing out. I was like, hey, I'll tell you what. Would you take $340 right now cash for Xmen 94 and for that X-Men Series 2 #5? And the guy's like, I was like, I got cash right now. Start pulling out cash and counting. He's like, yeah, fine. And so banged out $340 to him. Off I went, super happy, and then went and bought some other books. I should have bought. This guy actually had a nice collection. It was kind of strange because he had some fair books, but he had like a used book collection. So wherever he's getting his books from, while it's still awesome, especially with like books like this, I wish it was. Well, no, I'm glad for what it was. I was going to say I wish it was a King giant size #1, but that doesn't matter because I did see a giant size #1, and I'm not paying the price that they wanted. It was like $4,000, and I can't remember the grade. Getting this for $340, and this thing is climbing. If you guys don't know, I mean, obviously this thing has been climbing the market. It's been featured all over the place and continues to climb, and rightfully so, as it's a second appearance of the new team and just so much going on. Again, it's also X-Men original below the 100 marker, below the 100th issue marker. And the X-Men are still blowing up. The Uncanny run of X-Men, the first series of X-Men, I've got several in the teens and in the 20s and even into the 30s, some graded, some not. And I love seeing those numbers just keep jumping. So anyways, guys, super stoked. A lot of these books will go into my collection for a while anyways, but I was so excited to be able to share this with you, share some of the books that I got, and also I was excited to get these books. You wouldn't believe how genuinely happy I was by the time I got home and was like, holy shit, I really did it. I also spent a chunk of money, but like looking at the books and looking at where they are value-wise, I think I did pretty good. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was the 3rd video, kind of a bulk run. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, drop those down below. And of course, if you want to keep watching videos like this, hit the subscribe button. That's the only way you're going to be able to keep watching here. Of course, check us out on Instagram at @BreakPeriodOutDaily and over on TikTok at BreakoutDaily as well. We appreciate you stopping by and checking this out, and we'll catch up with you in the next video.